Holy shit, this episode was a bitch to edit. We're going to explain why in a second, but it's really good and you're really going to like it. But I'm not even mad because I'm so excited for our live show in 11 days at Stand Up New York. You guys have to come, okay? We have 20 tickets left. I don't want you to miss out because you're like, I want to buy it at the door. We're probably going to sell out, so get your tickets now at standupny.com. Use our promo code HowCome for 25% off. The tickets are $20, and with our discount, that's less. Again, we're doing stand-up and a live podcast. That's like 2 shows for the price of 1. Lola Jean's going to teach us about squirting and sexting, 2 things not many people are masters at, and she is. And then we're having stand-up from our former guests, Leclerc Andre from The Tonight Show, Khalid Rahman from Conan, Ashley Hesseltine from the Girls Gotta Eat podcast, Courtney McGinnis, a future guest, but her boyfriend, Casey James Salango, his podcast is the one that made me come. So and Courtney's the best. So you're going to love her. Ben DeMarco. You know him from MTV and this podcast. And yeah, Charlotte and I are going to be interviewing Lola, and we're going to be doing so much fun shit. And we're going to get to meet you all after because I'm on the 10 o'clock show at Stand Up New York after. So I'm just going to be hanging around and chilling with you guys. And I'm really excited. So go to standupny.com. Use our promo code HowCome. And also, okay, this is kind of shameful, but if you're not following us on Instagram, could you please? We're trying to get to 10,000 followers on my account, Remy Casimir, and on HowCome Podcast, so that we can get that cool swipe up thing, because there's a lot of articles that we want to have you guys read, and we don't want to post them all on the story because that's annoying. We want to do one of those cool swipe ups. So follow us, get your friends to follow us. It would mean so much. As always, please rate and review us on iTunes. 5 stars. Just say something really nice. It brightens our days, and it helps us get really famous guests when we move up the charts. Haven't you liked our famous guests? I have. It's been great. This episode is no exception. You're going to love our guests. I'm just going to give it to me. Take it away, me.
How come? How come? How come I can't achieve? How come I can't achieve? I'm rolling up my sleeves. I'm rolling up my sleeves. Oh, baby, I believe these guests can help. 'Cause I can't do it by myself. I wanna jizz.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to How Come. Oh, shoot. It's so echoey in here. But it's fine. We're in Nanny's room, actually. We're not in the living room. She pulled a fast one on us today. Apparently she's having company over. Like, in what world?
I don't know.
I don't know. So if this episode has an echo, I'm so sorry. But it's going to be an amazing episode. We are sitting here with Chris and Charlotte from the Pleasure Mechanics. Hello, guys. Welcome to How Come. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us. We're so glad to be here.
We are honored to be in Granny's bedroom. As you said, the full authentic experience.
Just because you can't see us, we're all laying in bed. We're using,
as girls do, you know.
We're having the best time. I'm so happy that you are able to come to the city. I know you're having your big family trip and reuniting with your daughter's donor, and it's so cool that you could come take time and spend it with us at Nanny's.
Yes, thanks
for
so much,
having
family.
So we know who you guys are. Can you explain your work and what you are doing to our listeners?
So we are Chris and Charlotte Rose. We are partners in love and life for the past 12 years. And we work together under the name pleasuremechanics.com, where we offer down-to-earth, practical sex advice on everything from erotic touch technique and really how the mechanics of pleasure to love advice and how to have a more soulful, satisfying erotic life on your own terms. And we really navigate that line of kind of the universal experience of human sexuality and what connects us all through this force of eroticism in our lives, and also the need to really make it personal and on your own terms and fitting your life as it is right now. And so we have a weekly podcast, Speaking of Sex, and a full suite of online courses at our website that guide people at their own pace through an erotic education for their hands and hearts and minds.
That's awesome. So yeah, if you guys aren't getting all of your learning from me and Charlotte, and you're like, Remy, stop joking about shit, and you just want to learn, go to their podcast. It is it's spectacular. I learned about your podcast from Cam and Karen Lee Potter from Sex Talk with My Mom. And I was like, we need these two to talk to our listeners about anal sex, because we have so many questions about anal, and you guys just put it in terms that I'd never really understood before. I always thought anal was a thing that guys want to do to women because it's a tighter hole. It's going to feel better for them. And I'm like, what am I going to get out of this? And I think you guys just really went full force into this can be pleasurable for anyone, male, female, like
Definitely. And you started, both of you, in massage and met in class. I love that.
Yes, I was doing graduate level sexology training and Chris was my teacher. But I do have to say that she had amazing boundaries and we didn't talk for many, many months. We didn't talk in the class and many, many months later I asked her out. So she had exquisite boundaries.
Good.
I'd just like to make that clear.
Yes.
And before that, I was an erotic masseuse. So that meant I did one-way touch, erotic massage for men in my 20s for 4 or 5 years. So I initiated 1,000+ men into a prostate massage while giving them erotic massage. So I got to see a lot of men have their first experiences with anal touch as well, and seeing how much pleasure they could experience was really beautiful.
Yeah. And were most of the men coming to you straight or gay or curious, or?
I think they were mostly all straight.
Okay, interesting.
And I think our culture has so many crazy ideas about anal play. But I think it's in a private space where they don't have to worry about what a woman thinks about them, because I think our culture has so many damaging ideas about men and anal play.
Yeah.
So they got to just experience touch.
Yeah.
And it just creates so many beautiful sensations in the body that once you experience it in a good way, it just opens up so much. And that's possible for men and women in all bodies. If it's done with reverence and kindness and sensitivity, I think the porn image that we have is really damaging.
Yeah.
It can be a really sweet, gentle, devotional practice that has kindness.
Well, and the sweet, gentle, devotional practices open the path for having rough anal fucking if that's what you want. Right?
Sure, yeah.
But the lineage we come from is erotic massage, and so it's approaching the ass with the same respect and reverence we would touch any part of the body, and perhaps even more because it's one of the most sensitive parts of the body. It's one of these places where you're going inside someone, so why not approach that with like a worshipful
Isn't anal
attitude?
skin tougher though? Because like when I get my butt waxed, that feels good.
Well, that's great information for you. The external anal sphincter is full of sensory nerve endings that transmit pleasure and that sense of sensation. So external anal touch can feel really alive and exquisite. When you get inside, they're pressure receptors.
Yeah.
So there's a lot we can learn about the anal anatomy that teaches us how to touch without any pain. So the way we teach anal sex is no matter what your destination, if it's a tiny little pinky finger or if it's full penetration, there never has to be a moment of pain or even discomfort. And that's a totally, as you said, a radical shift of attitude towards,
I always
give
thought,
me a
okay,
tighter
you're going to
hole.
have to like grit your teeth and like, even Raina from Girls Gotta Eat, she was on recently and she was like, yeah, I would have, butt sex with one boyfriend once, like, because you got to do it for them. It can be really nice if it is, or it should be really nice if it is for you too.
Well, here's the crash course, what you need to know about the ass to pleasure it well, right? So on the outside, the anal sphincter, whether we're talking whatever body, this is the great unifier. We all have an ass.
have an asshole.
The external anal sphincter is rich with nerve endings, and those nerve endings are directly linked with your sexual response system. So layering in external anal touch with things you already find pleasurable and orgasmic is a great way to link those neural pathways and start eroticizing anal touch. Because for most of us, we haven't even eroticized it. It hasn't felt good. We don't masturbate with anal touch. And so we have a very different relationship with our butt. It's like what we wipe after the bathroom. Like that's not a sexy, cognitive relationship.
Yeah.
So we start by layering an external anal touch without any agenda of penetration. So for the first many times you explore this, if you have the agreement, we're not going inside, and you take that anxiety off the table and you have that agreement in place and it's non-negotiable, you can really just relax into seeing what pleasure is available for you there. And this is solo or partnered. And then as we go inside, the external anal sphincter, so you have two sphincters about an inch apart. And sphincters are circular muscles. We have them in our eyes, we have them in our throat, we have them in our ass. What? And the external anal...
We have sphincters in our throat?
Right? These like opening and closing muscles.
Sick.
And in the, the iris of our eye is a sphincter.
Oh my God.
But the external anal sphincter was under our conscious control, right? We can flex it. I'm doing it now. The internal anal sphincter is not under our conscious control. And this anal sphincter has to relax and want something to penetrate it to open up.
Okay.
And so if we don't push past resistance there, then the whole body can relax and receive penetration. And then beyond that is about 4 to 6 inches of empty space, the rectum. And the rectum does not store poop, right? So I think a lot of us have this image of like you get past the asshole and there's this like wall of shit waiting for you.
Yeah.
And that you have to like poop just so to get that out and be all prepared. And it causes a lot of anxiety.
Yeah.
Because most of us do not eroticize that. But the rectum is...
like, ooh, I can't wait home to douche my ass and then have sex.
And you can get there. If this is a really hot thing for you, preparation can become part of the hotness and the getting your body ready for an experience that you love. But for most people, just exploring with a finger or a small toy, you're exploring an area of sensitive, open space that is ready to receive, and that on the other side of that wall are your genitals, right? Just on the other side of the rectal wall is your G-spot and all of your clitoral, your internal clitoral tissue, or the internal base of the penis. So this area is all one sexual system, and it's only because of misinformation that we have this weird divide of like the genitals and the butt.
Yeah.
So we like to integrate touch and really approach it as one unified sexual system that we then get to play with, again, on your own terms, how you want it stimulated. And that could be like 4 fingers in your pussy and a tiny pinky just resting on your ass. And for a lot of people, that just opens up more arousal and more sensation and changes your sexual experience. It gives you more flesh to touch when you don't have this no-go zone.
Yeah. And I think people are so like overwhelmed by anal that they're like, oh my God, it is going to be this like kinky thing or whatever. A pinky resting on an ass sounds like a lovely, very comfortable thing.
Right, that creates so much sensation because you're as you said, we like think of it as the front and the back as separate, but when you just include it and presence your ass while you're having clitoral or vaginal stimulation, like all of a sudden your pelvis just feels so much wider.
Yeah.
And there's just more sensation in your whole region, and that brings more blood to the area, makes more sensation, which then can ultimately feel more orgasmic if you get there. And if not, it still just can be more pleasure.
Definitely.
But I really want to go back to what you were saying, that some people feel like you need to endure in order to please him.
Yes,
and
definitely.
I really want to encourage everybody not to do that. I understand that our culture tells us that's how it has to go, but I really want to encourage people to not do that with their bodies, and if they want to explore for their own pleasure and on their own terms. And if that is this like tiny amount of a finger just pulsing around the ass, or just slipping inside an inch until it feels really, really good. And that, for some people, that might never happen, and for some people that might take 6 months of like gently including this into your erotic play in general, and that all of that is fine and great if you're moving at your own pace and letting your own pleasure guide it.
Totally.
And that's why I feel like it is a valuable experience just to do with somebody that you have a lot of communication with. That like first time sex, unless you're really experienced with it, is a really challenging sex act to try and include right off the bat.
Totally.
Based on just the amount of communication and comfort that you need to have in order to speak your needs and desires and to have pre-negotiated, let's not do anything until I say I want more, those kinds of things. So,
I mean, I feel like you always have to have those conversations to make sure everyone's comfortable, but I think people are always afraid with anal stuff too. Like we were saying, like that there's just going to be like a wall of shit. Is there ever a situation where there's like gonna be shit, or how can you prevent that? Or you know,
a lot of our listeners want to try it, but they're very cautious. They're like, I don't want to poop everywhere.
And that is a fair, I mean, using gloves and using your hand for a while is a great place to start, because then there's just less concern and you can take it off. There can sometimes be traces, depending on how your digestion is and when you last pooped.
Yeah.
So there can be a range. It's not normally like poop is going to come all out like that. That fear is not really, it's more like there could be a little bit on a condom if you're doing anal penetrative with a condom. But I think it's really great to start with a glove on a hand just to feel comfortable as you get comfortable with the experience.
I was in the pleasure chest recently and I saw anal gloves and it did not occur to me what that meant or what they were for. I was like, when you hold a butt with gloves, like, and then so it really is for hygiene too, almost, because I mean, and I think about this a lot. If people are going down there, if you're like eating someone out and do it both back and front, that's not a good practice. Like, how can you get this all, like, the safety aside so you can have a good time?
Yeah.
That's a great question. It's really important to keep it separate. Like, we do like to use gloves. So one hand is for the pussy, and then the other hand, or the cock, and the other hand is for the ass and has a glove on it. And you don't put that hand anywhere near the pussy. Like, it needs to be separate. You can cause issues.
Yeah.
So you do need to keep them separate.
Yeah, and I think part of this is also when we have the information and we have less of a hysterical relationship with this part of our body, then we can just deal with it with a little bit more maturity. And one of the most popular pages on our website is how to prepare for anal sex. Because I had just written this guide, and it turns out this question is really popular.
Yeah.
And it is a sex act that you want to prepare for. And gay men have this down. They eat their fiber. And part of that is body awareness, right? Being aware enough of your body to know your digestion and know, like, oh yeah, I've taken a great poop today. Like, I feel pretty open and clear. And then having the communication with your partner where you can say, like, this is what's on the menu tonight, this is what's not, and the confidence to know when you want to share different parts of your body. But in terms of the hygiene, yes, having a glove that you can strip off and then go right into the other hole is great. Like, you go through 20 gloves in a session if you're having a great time. And condoms can go on toys, right? So if you're using a dildo and you want to just like rest that around the sphincter, throw a condom on it, then throw the condom off. And then just that's part of your pleasure practice, right? Having that relationship with your different toys and hands and knowing how to navigate it. But so much of this is a mental adjustment.
Totally.
Right? And I think it's a lot of homophobia and a lot of ass phobia that have kept us from this part of our body.
Yeah.
And reclaiming it, even if you just get to neutral. Like, I do not love my ass played with.
Okay.
Charlotte does.
Yeah.
But getting to neutral, from my background, which was a lot of abuse and a lot of pain and fear of this part, just getting to the part where, like, it's not a big deal if even someone sees it or, like, happens to touch, like, making it a neutral part of your sexuality, that in and of itself can be so freeing.
Yeah.
And then starting layering and, like, oh, butt massage just on the butt cheeks feels so good.
Yeah, I didn't know that. And I just remember, like, I'm a big Real Housewives fan, and I remember Sonia Morgan had this tryst with a pirate in Saint-Tropez, and he fucked her in the ass. And one of the women on the confessional the next day was like, I don't want to say butt sex. It just sounds so rude. And I remember we were all like, oh my God, that's disgusting. And like, she didn't want to talk about it after. And this is season 5. It is currently season 11. And guess what Sonia's tagline is? People call me over the top, but lately I prefer being a bottom. And she hasn't really explained that tagline, except I think it means she's taking ownership of loving butt sex, finally. And she loves hanging out with a lot of gay men, but the girl's owning up. She loves her butt sex. She's getting comfortable. Speaking of getting comfortable, just because I'm talking about housewives, I'm thinking about the things that I love the most. Besides reality TV, this podcast, my sister, my boyfriend, and my cat, I love my Helix mattress the most. Literally miss it when I'm away from it. Have had a dream about it when I was sleeping in Ben's bed. We're going to need to get him one too. Helix, call me. But seriously, my Helix mattress has changed my sleep and my life, and I love it. And I highly recommend that you guys get one too. Not just because they're our partner this season. I hope they're our partner every season. But this mattress is the best. I know I've said this spiel a million times, but Listen to this. They have a 2-minute sleep quiz that matches you to your perfect mattress based on your body type and sleep preferences. Like, you know how BuzzFeed quizzes are fun and then they just tell you an answer and you're like, cool, now what do I do with this? I know I'm a Miranda. This is actually a quiz that leads to something so positive. Wonderful sleeps, non-sweaty sleeps, good sex. Like I've told you about how great the springs are for sex and how the sides don't cave in. It's awesome. Can I curse during ads? I love my Helix. Please don't get mad at me, Helix. They have a 10-year warranty, and you can try your mattress for 100 nights risk-free, and they'll even pick it up for you if you don't love it, but I know you will. The way that it's delivered is the coolest thing ever. I know I always talk about this, but I have watched our unboxing video a million times because Charlotte and I unboxed the Helix. It comes in like a box like the size of a person. So it's like not big at all, and then you open it up and you roll it out, and it just inflates, and it's beautiful and crazy. I don't even understand how they make it happen. But you want this mattress, you guys. You need this mattress. Go to helixsleep.com/howcome, take their 2-minute sleep quiz, and they'll match you to a customized mattress that will give you the best sleep of your life. Right now, Helix is offering up to $125 off all mattress orders. Get up to $125 off at helixsleep.com/howcome. That is helixsleep.com/howcome for up to $125 off your mattress order. Do it. I love you. You'll love it. Let's get back to butt sex. I hope this isn't too controversial of a topic because we're not supposed to sandwich ads with controversial topics. This shouldn't be a controversial topic. Butt sex is great. And I feel so bad for even judging Sonia Morgan and being like, oh, how could you could let that random pirate stuff you in the ass? Like, what if she wanted? She probably did. She's a very sexual person. She knows what she likes. She probably was asking to be fucked in the ass. So...
By a pirate. Doesn't sound too bad.
Yeah, he looked like Johnny Depp.
Oh, I remember in high school, there was this rumor going around that this girl like loved butt sex, and the way people responded to it, I look back on it, I'm like, that is so fucked up. But also, I think our minds have changed so much in terms of like, why is that a rumor at all? People, like you're saying, it should be neutral.
I mean, I used to think about it with...
It should be sex.
No, but I used to think about squirting, too, and I'd be like, oh my God, she's a squirter. That's so disgusting.
Mm-hmm. But this is that we're trained in judging other people, and we're trained in assigning sexual morality to different acts rather than how we're treating one another and how much respect we're giving the bodies we're fucking.
Yeah.
Which for me is much more, what I assign morality and ethics to. And I think this is part of why just getting to neutral or integrating some anal play on your own terms, and this starts with masturbation perhaps, or with a partner you really trust, it integrates something other than more pleasure, right? It helps us like heal a kind of a cultural wound. And you can just feel like a more integrated sexual being. And part of this is just like having love and respect for all of your body and not having this part of your body you're like, ew, gross about.
Yeah.
Like carrying that around the world is effort.
Yeah.
And then getting naked with like, how can you get naked and get doggy style and like have your ass up in the air and be like sweaty and primal with someone if there's this part of you like, ew, they might see that.
Yeah.
That holds us back from being really free with each other. And when we're talking about great sex, so much of that is just that freedom to be a little bit animal, a little bit wild, and like unfettered by shame.
Yeah.
And when we carry shame about our pussies or our fluids or our asses or our cellulite or our fatness, like whatever it is, what is that holding you back from? Yeah.
When I'm thinking about that animal stuff, though, it is tough with like hygiene and gloves and stuff. Like, how do you make putting on gloves sexy?
It doesn't have to be that sexy.
Okay.
I mean, it's you're just taking care of your bodies, and it's sexy to care for one another and do it right. And that's okay. Like, it can be its own thing. We're like, just like putting on a condom is like that. Is that the sexiest thing in the world?
No, it takes time. It takes people out of the
I
don't know. I'm trying.
But it's important. But it's important.
But it's
and
important.
You value that
Yeah.
over. And you're like, hold on a minute. Like, I'll be back. Like, this is just going to take a second, and I'll be back with you. You lie there and breathe, and you just have to integrate it and like be responsible and mature about it and be like, we're just taking care of each other in a bigger way.
And again, it's about context. If your only context for gloves is the OBGYN office,
right?
After enough pleasurable experiences, the snap of a glove can feel like foreplay.
Yeah, it'd be like, nice.
And if your lover's present with you and you're turned on and you see your lover reaching for a glove and you know what that means, you know that they're there with you and you're just kind of like wiggling into the sheets like, yes, this is coming.
There is good pleasure pleasure coming.
Yeah.
Like, pleasure is not fragile. These moments shouldn't be fragile if we're really there with each
Right.
other.
It's not like that's going to like snap you out of it and you're like, no, I'm thinking about gloves. Fuck you. I don't think you're sexy anymore.
And what's more distracting, that moment or the whole time it's going on, being like, is this safe? Am I
this
going to
okay?
get an infection?
Yes, definitely.
That distraction is worse.
There's so much, like, we have a lot of people being like, how do you take yourself out of it mentally? And I think safety-wise, pregnancy-wise, STD, all of that, like, do all that precursor stuff to make sure that you can enjoy your life during the actual fun stuff.
Yeah.
All right. So then I guess level 1 is be safe. Make sure you've got gloves. Make sure you've got lube.
They also have black nitrile gloves, which I would recommend if that feels like slightly sexier. I don't know
Because
what
you're not going to see the poop on the white.
Well, and just like the black is like a little, than the ones that you get in the store that are like purple, but those are fine too.
Yeah.
Like if that's important to you to add a little more like sexiness to it.
Yeah.
But nitrile gloves is what we would recommend.
Nitrile?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a fabric?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
What about if you're
So your
trying
basic
stuff
anal
out?
toolkit. So
Yeah.
just come prepared with a glove or a condom for your toy, lube of your choice, silicone or water-based, and a washcloth or a small hand towel. And I think that's one of the things we forget to bring to bed sometimes.
Okay.
So if you pull your glove out and there is a little bit of like extra lube, you just wipe it off, you tuck it aside.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you're not wiping it on the sheets or on your body, right?
Yeah.
Bring a glass of water and a little snack. Prepare for the moment. And this is part of our massage background, is like setting up sex as something we're doing intentionally. And then, you get in the habit and you're ready for a hot fuck and you just like grab your toy box that has the washcloths and the lube. So that's the basic anal toolkit, is
Okay.
some sort of protection, some sort of lube, and something to wipe your hands off of.
And the first time that you guys experimented with anal, were you doing stuff to yourselves or was somebody else doing it to you?
Oh, I don't remember. It was so long ago. ABC? I don't know.
All of it?
I feel like I've done solo. I feel like it's good just to add that into masturbation. And then definitely I love giving it and I love receiving it. So, and then I think once I was in the practice of giving so much, I feel like it made me want to explore it more deeply myself. So, yeah.
And I know men have a prostate, which is like an amazing little pleasure center. Do women have the same thing in our butts?
So the corollary on women would be on the front wall of the vagina.
Yeah.
Is the female prostatic area. And this is, science is still out on this question. It's related to the squirting question.
Okay.
But we all have prostatic tissue. And so female ejaculation, again, flows out of the urethra. When it comes to our sexual anatomy, we all have way more in common than we have different.
Yeah.
Right? We tend to think of innies and outies and cocks and vaginas as so opposite, when really they're the same tissue organized in different ways. So for men, when you're going in through the ass, again, it's all of the external anal sphincter, all of the pleasure there. And then when you reach inside, the prostate is fun to play with, but what you're also playing with is the entire internal root of the penis. So up to 2/3 of the length of the penis is inside the body.
Just like the clit, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so when you're going inside and playing with the perineum, men feel their cock inside and feel the full length of it and the erection and the pleasure flowing out from like deep.
Which is the perineum?
The perineum is the area between the genitals and the ass, right? So that
The grundle.
the taint.
The taint.
Yes.
Taint the front, taint the back.
Yes.
Okay, and then the prostate, does that feel like anything? Is it a little ball? What is
Yeah,
that?
so if you have 2 fingers in a boy's butt and you're reaching towards their cock, for some men with some fingers, like it can be deeper than you can feel, but for most men, you'll feel like a walnut shaped. It's a gland, right? And so you'll feel like kind of a walnut shaped, spongy, bumpy area with a slightly different texture than the rest of the wall. And you can start playing with that and massaging that, while again being aware of you're really touching the inside of the penis and stroking them, hopefully from the outside and the inside at the same time.
Whoa,
It's
this
hot
guy's
for
having
guys.
the best time
Yes.
of his life.
And most men here will report, if they get into anal play, if they can really relax into internal anal stimulation, men have the best orgasms they've had. Like, this is a consistent reporting.
Yeah.
And part of that, again, is healing that anal shame, coming into their full sexual system, realizing their cock is much bigger than they ever thought, being receptive. And also, when guys get fucked in the ass, they become better lovers because they know what it feels like to be penetrated.
Yeah.
it totally changes the way men fuck. I think women should push this as an agenda just so they get fucked better. But meanwhile, you have this whole other experience to play with. You can play with the power roles or the gender roles there.
Yeah.
And like women being in charge and wearing a strap on can feel really empowering for them. So there's all different ways to play with this. Or again, it can be a blowjob with one finger on the external ass. It's such a choose your own adventure.
Yeah,
here.
I think it really is like an equalizer because like I was thinking about it when I first started having sex and boyfriends and stuff. Like my first boyfriend, I let him anal me. I mean, like we didn't have nice anal sex. He analed me and it sucked. And I was like, okay, well, I guess this is something we do to be nice to them. And then there was one poll I made on the Instagram that was like, if a guy wants to put a finger up your butt, should he be willing to put a finger up his butt? And some people were like, no. And I was like, see, I at least understood them wanting to be able to stick their dicks in. But if they just want to stick their fingers in, but not have it done to them, that's just unequal. Like that, what is that serving? If like you don't have sexual, you don't have nerves in your finger that's getting you off. What's getting you off is the inequality. Do you?
Oh, yes. Tons of nerve endings in your fingers.
But like you could have an orgasm by fingering someone's butt?
Not an orgasm, but for me, it's like one of my deepest pleasures is having my hands in other people.
Okay, you
for
aside,
sure.
though. I'm saying somebody else who just wants to do it. Like, I think it's more of a power thing than I think this would be a really nice feeling for you. It's like, okay, well, if you think it would be nice for me, then shouldn't you think it would be nice for you?
This conversation will reveal so much about how men think about gender roles, about the domination of sex versus the pleasure of sex.
Yeah.
Have this conversation and feel out how this guy is responding. Because if he's like, ew, no, man, no way, that's fucking gay. Like, I would never do that. He's going to have that kind of static gender roles about a lot of things in life.
Yeah. Totally. Like it runs across the board. Yeah. A lot of guys, I've heard them say that they don't want to be pegged because literally, this was the quote, it would change the power dynamics of our relationship. Like they would no longer be on top anymore. And that is just so toxic.
That's very telling of the fact that you think you need to be on top and not on equal footing.
Right. I mean, that said, with the finger thing, some people just aren't into butt stuff, and that's totally okay, you know?
Yeah, but I'm saying if they want to do it to you, and you're
but
like,
that can be a neutral conversation, right? He can be like, well, I've tried it or I've done it a little bit
definitely.
and it's really not for me. So, cool. If it's a neutral conversation, again, it's just preference.
But if it's like, I want to put my finger in your butt. Okay, I don't want that. Come on.
And again, that's an agenda, right?
Yeah.
He has an agenda of something he wants to do to you. His primary concern is how can I give you the most pleasure?
Right.
How can I serve you?
Right.
Yeah.
How does that feel for you? Like if a guy approached you with that attitude, like in your experience with guys, would that feel really powerful for you to like be able to call the shots, or does that feel intimidating?
If
like what do you want from
like,
a man energetically?
If a guy was like, I want to be pegged?
I guess I'm just asking, like, what do you want from a man? Because I also feel like we have this dynamic now where a lot of women want men to be strong and dominant and ready to call the shots. A lot of men are terrified to do so.
Yeah.
So maybe this is another episode, but I'd love to hear, like, what attitude do you want to be approached with? Like, let me serve you? Or does that feel like, that's giving me too much control?
Let's have a good time together. Let me serve you. Let you serve me. I love when the dynamics swap. I don't want to be in a stagnant thing where someone's high up above and someone's low and whatever. Like, it should be like, okay, it's your turn. It's my turn. It's your turn. It's my turn. Let's do in the bedroom and in your daily relationships. You decided what movie we're seeing. All right, I'll decide it tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah. And that's how we play, and I think we lose sight of the fact that sex is about play.
Yeah.
And when we play as kids, it's so much about this fluid dance of like, this is fun. Oh, let's not do this anymore. And like we can move from one thing to the other really easily. And with joy and with sex, when we get so into scripts, we forget that it's really just like this open-ended, playful exchange.
Yeah.
And it can be dynamic. But there's so much baggage we just have to strip away and away. And I have feelings for these guys who are so in their man box that they can't.
Their man box. Their man vagina.
The man box is really constricting for a lot of guys, and they're so fragile about performing masculinity for you, and it's really for the women. And we have so many intimate conversations with men, and men are so generous and so want to like serve women,
Yeah.
but they think they have to do that by performing, and they've kind of got the wrong script in their hands. So that's a lot of what we do in our podcast is reframing these conversations
Yeah.
and giving people different narratives.
How do you get them over that?
We're all doing it together, right?
Yeah,
like you're
I
in
guess
this
so.
conversation.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a generational thing. We're moving into a new sex culture altogether, rewriting the rules of what it means to be men and women, how
Yeah.
to fuck, what fucking is for. And we're just a few years into this experiment, right? I think it's
Yeah.
going pretty well, all things considered. And the new narratives around, Me Too and the reckoning that's happening there is going to accelerate this transformation. So the question really needs to be like, why are we having sex, and what kind of sex do we want to be having? And is this making us feel like more energized and great about our lives, or is it feeling depleting? We like to think of pleasure as fuel. So how do we like fuel our
Yeah.
lives with this eroticism? And that has to be unfettered by shame and guilt and fear.
Yeah.
So it's just and it's a process. It's constantly stripping these layers away.
Well, that's an interesting thing to bring up too, because I feel like a lot of sex, like when you see like American Pie or whatever, like those coming of age movies, it's like the sex that you're having is to impress your friends. It's not to actually like experience, pleasure, fun, or, or it's to feel more included to something when you were feeling left out. A lot of people have written us, when is it the right time to lose my virginity?
I like to think of it as the sexual debut. Virginity is a social construct. There's no such thing. The hymen is a myth. So what kind of sexual debut do you want to have?
Yeah.
And that can be a season, right? A debut season, a debut year.
Yeah.
I'm still losing virginities, right? Like we have so
Yeah.
many different cherries to pick. And again, these are these cultural stories that lock us into this thing. Like, is this the right person? Am I good or bad if I do it this way? Shed all of that. And what does it mean to you in this moment to be sexual with this person? Yeah.
And so I know you can have anal orgasms, right?
Well, all of the nerve endings are all connected. Like
Yeah.
it's all
A bundle.
It's all connected. So if you're
TV and
stimulating, so if you're stimulating in the back, and some people are going to feel more sensation, they're going to find it more pleasurable, orgasmic. So it can feel like it originates in different places, but it's also
And like reverberates through.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
It's like if you're doing anything with the anal area, ideally you're working with the clitoris, or if you find that you like that, there's something inside you're working with all the vaginal tissues. Like you get so the orgasms or deep pleasure can originate in any places, but it's also always including all of it.
Okay, because I remember Christina Hutchinson on episode 6 last season said she had an anal orgasm, and a lot of people that have been writing to us like, oh, I've squirted, I've done this, so like, what's next or whatever, and I'm like, have an anal orgasm, but I'm giving that advice not knowing if that's really a thing.
Well, some sex educators, some people love making these lists of different kinds of orgasms.
Yeah.
An orgasm is not a genital event. It does not originate in any specific tissue. And it's really important to know, right? And for different people with different disabilities, it's very important to know. You can create orgasm through stimulating any part of the body, including just your mind.
Okay.
And we are all capable of all these different layers of orgasm and orgasmic release. Like an orgasm is a very specific physiological event.
Yeah.
And that's not the same as arousal, as pleasure, as the fun of fucking, right? So we get a little too focused on orgasm.
Yeah.
And in terms of anal versus G-spot versus clitoral versus squirting, these are categories that are made up in order to explicate different possibilities, perhaps. But there is no such thing as an anal orgasm, right? Because orgasms do not originate in any one place. So you can reach an orgasm through just stimulating the ass, or the ass and the clitoris together, or the ass, clitoris, and G-spot together, or the ass and a nipple, or the ass and a neck, right? Like all these combinations are possible. And we encourage you to explore them all, but to get hung up on like, I must reach an orgasm through this arena, and it will be satisfying if it looks this way. And these hierarchies of orgasms, like a squirting orgasm is not more enlightened
I know.
or transformative or empowering
Right.
than a non-ejaculatory orgasm, right? Meanwhile, all these men are trying to have non-ejaculatory orgasms to be more enlightened. These
Is
are
that
all
a
just,
thing?
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Oh,
For
interesting.
Men. Orgasm and ejaculation are not the same
Yeah,
event.
I feel like everyone just kind of wants to tick off the notch that they're unable to do. And it's like, yeah, you can definitely seek out other stuff, but like enjoy the arena that
Well, I
you're
think it's
in.
shifting from performative sex to being a sexual being. And again, like, what does the ejaculatory orgasm mean for you? What does squirting mean for you? Is it like a certain liberation of your attitude? Is it being willing to be messy? Is it willing to be open and gushy? And often we need to focus on how we want to feel, or like what is holding us back and what do we want to overcome. Like, there are ways of setting erotic goals that are not performance based. But also this is just like how we talk about sex in this culture is like the new orgasm you need to try.
Yeah.
And it's all aspirational, and I know we're all addicted to feeling lesser than and not worthy.
Literally.
Pleasure. We just really love pleasure to be the goal.
Yes.
And it's like explore new parts of your body, see what different pleasures you can experience, see if you can continue to deepen in what you can feel. But if we can shift the goal from how we look and how we're performing to how we feel and how deeply we can feel and how much pleasure we can feel, it becomes more about us and our own experience instead of how we appear. And I think that's such an important transition that is like a lifetime of work, because we live in this culture that is so focused on what we look like and who we're being. But I think it's a worthy one to focus on and prioritize.
Yeah.
One of the quotes is "Pleasure is the measure," from Emily Nagoski.
Oh, yeah. We keep getting her mentioned. We need to get her on this podcast too.
She has a new book coming out.
Her new book
Does
coming
she?
out is about burnout and how kind of cultural burnout prevents us from self-care and being in pleasure. And yes, Emily Nagoski is a brilliant sex educator and writer who talks a lot about the science of sex. Yeah. Pleasure is the measure. Yeah.
Or, that our listeners asked for about if you're exploring yourself for the first time, what do you recommend? Fingers, toys, like how should they go about it?
Yeah, like is a butt plug a starter thing? I received a butt plug the other day and I stuck it right up there, and then I walked to the bathroom and then I pushed it out and I was like, look at me. It wasn't.
So different people have different relationships with this. Some people like using their hands and touching themselves. Other people find it uncomfortable to touch their own genitals. So where are you at with that? The legendary gay sex therapist Jack Moran used to really start with people in the shower, just like integrating it into soaping yourself, and like, can you just like slide a soapy hand over your butt and feel neutral about it? Like, you're not self-stimulating, you're not trying to get aroused, like just touch this area until it doesn't feel charged and scary.
Yeah.
Some people like just putting a wide, broad object like a yoni egg or like something that's not going to just slip inside, and just being able to like rock against it, like just have like a feeling of firmness. And other people a little vibrator.
But
without penetrating. Yes. So a wide open palm, like I often scoop under, have my fingers under the sacrum, like under the backbone, and then have the heel of my hand resting like over the ass. And from there, you just like feel like you have the whole person in your hand, and you can rock them. You can like do circles, and meanwhile, like your mouth, your other hand is free to play. So play with this, like really integrate the ass into the whole pelvis. Like, don't think of it as a whole, think of it as an arena, a zone. So different toys, you know, like a butt plug slipping right inside. What that gives you is that sense of fullness.
Yes.
Which can make clitoral sensation feel different. What it's not doing is activating all of the external anal stimulation and adding to the arousal capacity that way. So if you like just that feeling of a little fullness, which a lot of guys like a butt plug and then fucking, because it kind of rocks against their prostate, against the internal penis.
Or a lot of women like that if they feel like they wish that their partner's cock was a little bit bigger. Sometimes some people really enjoy wearing a butt plug while they're because it feels
the
fullness in your own body. So that's like a good little secret tip. But the butt plug, you can also like use it in circles around your your sphincters, like while you're kind of touching the front of your body if you're doing solo touch.
Yeah, just that light touch. I mean, people don't understand that light touch, it like you literally don't have to put anything in. You could just boop, like touch it's nice.
Yeah. Those are all those nerve endings
on
that sphincter.
That little bundle.
It's precious.
I love that. I had a tantric massage last season, and one of the things that he did first was he kind of like chopped up my butt and massaged it or whatever to get blood flow to the area. So would you recommend that that's something that couples do together?
We are obsessed with massage.
Okay.
So ideally, if you're having any for me, like practically, ideally, anytime you're having any kind of sex, you're getting a full body massage first, and then focusing on the butt, and then genital touch and or anal touch.
Cool.
Preferably both for me. But yes, massage is so incredible for allowing you to feel more sensation, to move from all of the head talk into feeling the sensations in your body, because someone else is helping you bring your attention to your whole body.
Yeah.
I wish guys knew that. Sorry,
you got to teach them that. You have to invite them and ask them if they can massage you. Guys are really guys want to serve women, and it gives them so much joy to bring women sexual pleasure, but they don't know how to do it, and we have to direct them kindly and with enthusiasm and with boundaries. But if we can direct them to do what we most want, that will make them so happy.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
they want to serve. They want to give us pleasure, and I
Everybody
sometimes think that
wants to
tweak
know
is
how to
really
do a good
important.
job.
Yeah, they want to be good.
Yeah.
And we have to tell them how to do that.
And I think, we've talked about this before, but I have always loved back tickles, always loved massage, whatever. Always felt that was like a weird thing to ask for, because it's not necessarily sex. It's not like, oh, touch my nipples, touch my clit, whatever. It's like, I really just love a back tickle, or touch the side of my boobs.
Or if it's not with a partner, you feel weird, like they're going to think you're trying to be all romantic, or suddenly, we're not dating, why would I massage you? But it's so not like that.
A random person?
Yeah, if you've only slept with someone a couple times, they might
think it's too
massage,
romantic.
and then there's full body warm up, right? So we love massage. We teach couples massage. Doing a really great, it can be 10 minutes, but a full body massage that allows you to relax and focus, and then transition, because a lot of us need transition from busy work to the erotic zone. So that's great. But with a new partner, if it's not like a romantic candlelit massage, it can just be like, let's spend some time just touching our full bodies, rolling around, laughing. We just rush. We rush into sex. We rush to what we think is like the next part of the script. And again, you find out a lot about a partner if you interrupt that script and kind of come out of the moment and see if they can meet you there, or if they so focused on like, it's this and then this and then this, they're not going to be present with you. So just get rid of them and get on to the next guy. But full body touch for a lot of women is an essential part of the arousal process, and men are happy to do it if they have the skills, they have the tools, and the invitation. But a lot of women aren't that comfortable being touched, right? Because to receive a full body massage, you have to be like, here I am.
Yeah.
And a lot of women freak out in that moment and don't want to be seen, don't want to be touched. So are you worthy of being touched, right? So for some reason, it just starts there. And maybe it's just a foot massage or a back rub, with a drape over your ass. Like, where can you be comfortable? Start from where you're comfortable, and then you're going to slowly expand from there. We can't start at a place of panic and discomfort.
Totally. But I think massage, too, is just such a great way of getting you feeling in your body, and that your body is one unit.
But I think your point about, can you just ask, could you just touch, all of my back, and touch, up my legs and down my legs and a little bit on my sides, it just helps me feel in the mood, or helps me feel really relaxed, or kind of framing it as an invitation that doesn't involve tons of skill, but just can you just touch me all over?
Yeah.
And we can practice these phrases like, what I would really like is sushi.
Yes.
What I would really like is a back rub. So how do we practice saying these phrases in non-sexual context? What do you want? What would you like? What would feel good? Saying that out loud, seeing how your partner reacts. Can he get you sushi? What I would really like tonight, or what would feel really good to me is
what I'm super excited about would be.
I want
That's
you.
a very
right.
smart,
I want you
helpful tip.
to blank.
Yes.
Right. Very few people don't like hearing "I want you," so not framing it as a demand or like a prerequisite, but I want you to spend some time warming me up tonight.
Yeah.
It's a different invitation.
Definitely.
We have some funny questions. One of our listeners sent in, no offense if you, it's funny to me, but does it mess up your organs, anal sex?
No.
Because
your organs aren't involved.
Yeah,
right?
and there's an area of space.
Yeah. And you can get fist deep. You can get elbow deep in a butt. I've been 2 elbows deep in 2 butts at a time, and the body returns to a natural state. The whole myth of gaping is when you're damaging the sphincters from going too fast.
Yes.
And a lot of the pornification, what we see, and
there's
the
a lot of
fetishization
porn
of
of
it.
pulling out people's assholes.
Yeah.
That's
kind of, yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah, it's a thing. This
Gaping, rosebud, it's sometimes rosebudding. There's a lot of porn that's about abusing the body and making that hot for people. I love porn. There's a lot of great ethical porn. There's a lot of porn that's really about going to extremes at someone's expense. That's not what we're replicating, right?
Right.
If that's someone's fantasy, it's fantasy. But
no, that's the thing about it's just for you that like you're pulling out. I don't know. Let's say somebody wants their asshole pulled out for them. That's great. But most of the time, I think in those situations, it's just.
Is that ever a thing for them? Are people enjoying that?
I don't know. Some people can enjoy everything. You don't
getting
know.
it pulled out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, well, yeah. There's people that get into extremes for all the humiliation of it, the degradation of it. Like people eroticize everything, right? But when we're talking about, for most people, the fear there is it's a one-way hole.
Yeah.
Is it going to make me incontinent?
Yeah.
Am I going to leak? Like there's all of these fears because that's what we've been told by a homophobic culture and a sexphobic culture. Again, like knowing the anatomy, really getting into a good relationship will make this area healthier. It reduces hemorrhoids. You're getting these sphincters, these muscles in the right tone.
Okay.
So it's really about getting this area healthier, getting it more healthy blood flow. Prostate massage is recommended by doctors. Prostate massage is a medical procedure in a lot of countries. This is a healthy practice if it's done with respect, right? Like not pain, not pushing through pain, not injuring one another for hotness.
That's the really important part, just not pushing past pain. That if you're doing that, then your body will be fine and safe and there's no concerns.
A lot of, we had somebody write in saying, should I push past? No, don't push past pain. No. That's not a thing. It's not like there's going to be pleasure on the other side of pain. There's pleasure on the other side of pleasure. Mounting pleasure. So,
a sentence there is, can you just pause right there, please?
Yes.
Can you just hold there? It's feeling really intense, but right there feels good. Just making those requests like in that moment is how you stay on this side of pleasure and away from pain.
One of our listeners wrote in, how do I get a guy to understand that I want to work up to it slowly and that he can't just stick it up there? Tell him this isn't just for you. This is for, if you're really doing this for me too, you don't want me to be crying this whole time. You want me to be feeling good. And like, who's a better repeat customer? Someone who had a good time.
Right. And the thing for a lot of people to know is a bad experience can shut you down for months or years.
Yeah.
One bad experience, one pushing past. And for guys to know that, like, I want this to be a thing we can share over time. It's got to be done really well. Let's get there. This is what it's going to look like. Paint the picture. Like, I'd love to be able to take all of you inside me. This is what it's going to take.
I just love that term. 2 elbows deep and 2 butts at a time. It sounds like a poem.
Great experience.
You do have more.
Yeah. This woman said, I had surgery in the sphincter and I have hemorrhoids. I shouldn't try it, right? But I want to try.
External relaxing anal massage is amazing for hemorrhoids. Right? Hemorrhoids are blood vessels pushing through really tense muscles. So all the better. But again, it's not going to necessarily be this hot, really erotic experience right away. It might be healing at first. It might be relaxing at first. And again, start with it just for the intention of relaxation.
Yeah.
Relaxation. This is a really amazing area to relax our full body. Like, we live in a very tight-assed culture.
Yeah.
And I check in, like, if you are standing in line and you're really tense, notice how your butt feels. You will notice a tight assness.
Whoa.
And then you can start noticing when you feel like relaxed and safe. Notice how your butt feels. Like, we carry so much tension here. So the practice alone of just relaxing your ass, relaxing your butt,
like when you're in lines and you're waiting and you're feeling like tense and stressed, just like take some deep breaths and like notice your sphincter relax. And you can be in this like relationship with your ass all through the world as like a barometer of your own stress and tension.
Yeah, definitely.
Like tight ass is a thing because it's a thing. And so it's
phrases come from things.
It's great to like just be more connected to your body and notice what it's telling you.
Yeah,
and then
definitely.
shift it.
Are there anal Kegels? Like, I know that we can all do, like, I'm doing them right now, I guess. But, like, are there real things for strengthening? Because I remember when I first started learning about gay sex specifically, like, I was like, oh, guys are going to have anal leakage all the time, like Lay's potato chip bag leakage. Remember that? Or was it Lay's, or what was the leakage chip?
The fake fatty oil
that
they
fake
use
fatty
that
oil
gave everyone
chip.
the runs.
Yeah. Everybody. But that's what I pictured, and I was like, oh, you can't get into gay. Like, people are going to have these gaping assholes, like, They must be doing Kegels. Is there some type of maintenance that you need to do if you're doing regular anal play?
No, most of us are too tight, and this applies for
Okay.
vaginal Kegels too. Most of us are too tight in the pelvis. We don't need to be stronger. We need to be more relaxed.
Okay.
So you don't need to do anything specific. What you need to learn how to do is relax.
Right.
You need how to learn how to have sensation there, and then relax into that arousal, relax into that touch. Just keep focusing on that relaxing, the expansion, the opening, and the tightness will take care of itself. Our body is designed to do this.
Yeah.
We forget that our body is designed.
But I didn't think
to
it
do this.
was like, because you hear that it's designed to poop, like not
Yeah,
for
but your
things to go
mouth, you
in.
vomit.
So true.
You eat.
So
You
true.
can still suck a dick.
So true.
I'm just going to leave it there. Our bodies, we
Mic
fuck.
drop.
We can have a baby out
Yeah.
of them. We are very multi-purpose people.
Yeah.
We do not need to be so
Yeah.
limited.
Yeah,
None
yeah,
of our
yeah.
orifices have one. Like we breathe out, we breathe in. You
Yeah.
know, like this is just homophobia.
Totally.
It is, and like hygiene in a time where we didn't have running water.
Yeah.
There are very reasonable health concerns, but
Yeah.
right now we do live in a time and a place. Thank you, Lord, with running water, and so we can have butt sex, and. Yeah, I think we just really need to get over that one idea. It really is spread from shame. And
Totally.
Well, if you think, I'm sorry to take it there, but if you think of the size of a poop and the size of a dick, they're not that far apart.
Definitely not. And
Right.
pooping feels great, and so does anal.
And that nice empty feeling after a good poop, like our bodies are designed to feel
Yeah.
pleasure in this area
Yeah.
and to also be aware of this area. The reason tight ass happens with stress is because when we're in survival mode, right? If you're running from a lion, you're not ready to shit. Like your digestion tightens up, your pelvis tightens up, and you run. Most of us are in that like fight or flight all the time. We're stressed out, and our bodies
You
are
can't
tense.
run and shit at the same time. That's so weird.
Right? Or you evacuate, right? You like shit your pants and then run.
Yeah.
But like our survival and that feeling of safety is so tied into our digestion.
Yeah.
And this is, I'm really obsessed with interoception right now, which is the art of paying attention to what's happening inside you.
Okay.
All of the sensations, hunger, having to pee, all of the sensations inside you.
Yeah.
Because orgasmic capacity is so much about paying attention to the sensations inside your body.
Mm-hmm.
instead
How
of in
is your
head
body
also.
building the arousal?
Yeah.
You know, where is the breath moving it? And so when we pay attention to our ass, to our digestion, again, to the whole body, we're just like in better dialogue with it.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, this is a great time to be fucked. This is a terrible time to be fucked. And you know that, and you can like be in alignment with that. So you're
Yeah.
not damaging your body. You're
Yeah.
not overriding your body's wisdom.
Yeah.
That takes a while to get there. We're all getting there. Yeah.
And I think if like you're easing your way into like full anal, let's say like you've done the massage and you're doing, you know, you've gone past the first ring, you've gone past the second ring. Do you think if you're using a penis or a toy or something like that, is it beneficial to go in a little bit and then leave, or do you go a little and sit? Like what do you think is the best, or is it just whatever that body says?
Once that internal anal sphincter is open and you're in that and you have a lot of lube and the body is receptive, the in and out fucking can feel great. Some people like that better. Some people like staying inside and then other stimulation. So this is kind of a personal choice.
Yeah.
But to get to that sliding in and out, like both sphincters have to be coordinated and both relaxed, and you have, you know, the opening. My favorite way is to stay still, the person penetrating stay still, whether the cock, the toy, the finger, and say, you move on to me.
Ooh, that's good.
You know, ease onto me.
Yeah. That
you
way
know?
it's not like, wait, stop. It's like you're doing it. You're the one moving into place, into the
control.
different. Ooh,
And
I
what
love
trust
that.
there, right? Like, I'm going to
Yeah.
hold still. Come to me when you're ready.
Yeah, that's great. Oh, I love that.
And I love that you're mentioning moving inside and then pausing, because I think that's also really valuable as the body, like, especially at the beginning, is getting used to deeper and deeper sensation. Like, we don't have to like slam right in.
No,
You shouldn't. Just
you
like
shouldn't.
move slowly in and like take another deep breath, feel what you're feeling, and then do I want to go a little bit more in?
Yeah.
Or do I want to move out again? And like, it's such a wonderful thing to play with.
And
of
maybe this whole time there's a hand or a finger or a toy on the clitoris inside, right? Keep doing the other things that feel good, so you're layering.
Right. So it's not just like focus completely on this. It's like, I mean, you could even take it out for a second, take a break, start fingering, start, you know, playing with nipples. I don't think that there needs to be this like, we made it this far, we have to push. Okay, take it out. Do, you know, like enjoy. There's also, I never realized, like the first time I had full good anal, have I ever talked about this on the podcast?
No.
I had an abortion, and after an abortion, you can't have vaginal sex for the first 24 hours, but I was feeling really horny. Like we had gone to the abortion together. It was this emotional process. We wanted to, you know, kind of like make love. And we were kissing, and I was like, we can't do vaginal or whatever. And I was like, but we can try the other one. You know, we're going to try the other one. And there was just a lot of kissing and emotion and breathing and stuff. And it was like face forward. Like I didn't think you could have anal facing the other person. Obvious now, but
Yeah.
It's not the image we're sold.
yeah.
But I think your story shows like that was like the intimacy of the motion. I bet it was like a slower pace.
Yeah.
And it was about the connection and being together and not about being taken or being
Exactly.
You know, a tight
It was
hold of fuck.
Yeah.
That was nowhere on the radar.
We want to show each other that we like each other and we want to have a good time. Not like, I'm horny, it's 5 a.m. and I'm going to stick it in the other hole and say, oops.
Right.
Yeah. Different experience entirely.
And that can come. I don't want to paint this picture that it always has to be like lesbianic, reverent, worshipful sex, right? Like we can get to like rough animal fucking
Yeah.
with this like agency and communication in place.
Yeah.
Sometimes we just have to slow it down to practice and get comfortable. And then we can kind of like be in that lusty.
I keep trying to tell people, I'm like, just make people more comfortable and they'll do weirder shit with you.
Yes.
Like it can get
Great advice.
way more fun. This person said, what's better, vaginal or anal? Come on, guys.
Both at the same
Both.
time.
No, but also it depends on your little body.
Yeah.
You don't know. Try it out. Enjoy. Incorporate.
Experiment.
Experiment.
Let your pleasure guide you.
For pegging, do you think, I mean, I know a lot of guys are afraid of it because of the homophobic tendencies that we have and the power dynamics, but would you ease a man in the same way you would ease a woman in?
Totally.
Yeah, and it's homophobia, but it's also really important to name it's the man box. It's the sense of what kind of man would I be if I liked that.
Right.
And so many men already are aware of this, are masturbating this way, are fantasizing about it. And it's the shame of coming to their female partner and saying, like, I want to be vulnerable in this way. I want to open up in this way. And so depending on the guy's attitude, like there's a way of making it really masculine and like pairing it with like a really hot blowjob, you know?
Yeah.
And for other men, there's a way of making it like really like tender and safe and nourishing. So I think you have to like read your guy's energy.
Yeah.
And are they like edgy, excited about it? Or are they like a little scared and vulnerable about it? And like, where do you meet them?
Definitely. I mean, I think I've approached it even mentally. Ooh, I gotta peg that guy. Like I need to do pegging eventually or whatever. That's a notch for me. That's not thinking about the person. That's me being like, you know, just the same as a guy that wants to stick his fingers up my ass. Like, well, what would I be getting out of it if not just enjoying your discomfort?
Or the domination of it.
Or the
I'm gonna
domination
take
of
them.
it. Right.
Yeah, they're going to be mine.
Yeah.
It's this whole hierarchy of
Yeah. Ooh, so now I get
penetration.
to check my own self.
That's great. That's great to
Look at
notice.
me
Yes.
learning. Someone said, is anal needed to keep a sexual relationship fun?
No, but novelty is, and if it's a way of expanding our sexual experience and having new experiences, having new debuts to play with, and creating different and more sensation that can make it richer over time.
Definitely. This one said, we should avoid laxatives and mainly use a water enema? ?
So the enema thing, just to address that, a lot of people have an idea of an enema being a full colonic, which happens usually in like a health spa. To prepare at home, some people just like a quick water bulb enema. So it's like a little rubber bulb and you just splash water into the rectum and then immediately let it out. So you're
Okay.
just rinsing internally. You're not flushing your entire colon. Huge difference. So it's not a
Okay.
big bag of water. You're
Oh,
not
that's
putting
totally
cups and
what I
cups of
thought.
water. It's like a little squeegee. It's about a half cup of a time, plain warm water. And you're just like putting it in, letting it out until it runs clear. And if you're worried about a little poop, like when you see the water running clear, you're good to go. So again, this is all on like the how to prepare for anal page if you want to check out like a list, but
Yes.
get over the idea that there's like a wall of poop waiting or that you have to like evacuate your entire system. Yes.
Does anyone else get constipated afterwards? One of our listeners wants. Could that be a stress thing maybe?
I mean, it is an event on the system,
Yeah.
right? And depending on how vigorous it gets,
Yeah.
depending on how long it lasts, how much penetration, like it is an event and your system might respond. Again, like try taking a warm bath afterwards. Like if you notice a pattern, you can work with your body to deal with that like we would. How do you deal with period sex, right? Like you
Yeah.
get to know what your body needs.
Yeah. How do you work up to fisting?
One finger at a time.
One finger at a time.
Yeah, once the body is really relaxed, it will it invites you in.
It'll swallow it.
It does. It kind of does, and it like kind of takes you in, and so you let the body be the guide, and so it can be again painless and just a feeling of pressure, and it can be a really beautiful, slow experience. Of course, it can be more intense, but in the same way.
Yeah. Is there ever blood? And if there is, what do you do?
Yeah, so a little bit of blood could be like an internal hemorrhoid opening up a little bit. What you don't want to do is rip the sphincters. And again, this is not even like talking about no pain, but also no discomfort. If you feel like you're going too fast, you can feel that pain, you then ease back. It's when we push through the tissue, we're damaging it, and little bits of blood can come. So if it's like a spot of blood, it's probably not a huge deal.
Okay.
If there is bleeding, you stop, you check in. And if you need to, you go to a doctor,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Do not be in sexual pain. You know, doctors hear everything. It's really hard to embarrass a doctor. And if you do, you're teaching them something,
Yeah.
right? Like have enough self-worth to go to a doctor and be like, a mistake was made. We went too far. I need a little bit of help. Pelvic trained physical therapist. If you're having pain after birth or painful sex in general, like there's help out there. And it's really important not to normalize painful sex of any kind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This person, I think I already know the answer, but do you have to stop eating like 2 hours prior?
No, but
No.
some people do prefer to like experiment with the body and take extra fiber like 24 hours
Okay.
before if they know they're going to be having. This is like what a lot of gay men like
Okay.
figure out their timing and like what the package and when they'll poop and then when their date is, and like you can experiment with that if you want to be, if this wants to be like a bigger part of your erotic life or if it makes you feel more comfortable.
Well, digestion, right, happens over a 24-hour period, not a 2-hour period, but 2 hours before if you eat a really heavy meal and you're having like a burger and fries
Yeah.
and a milkshake, like you might not be in the mood for anything.
I mean, I wouldn't want to do that for vaginal sex, for having any, like, don't feed me and then stuff me up with stuff.
Fuck first and then feast.
Fuck first, then feed. Yeah. Or feed while fucking so that the digestion doesn't happen yet. We can just like enjoy all of our senses.
chocolate.
Peppers and
grapes.
sausage.
Yeah. This girl said, I don't have any questions about anal because I love it. I couldn't have vaginal clitoral orgasms, but I've had anal ones. So do we think she's actually having internal clitoral ones if anal ones don't actually exist?
So when I say they don't exist,
Or
if they get
Yeah.
sensation from anal stimulation that builds to an orgasm
Yeah.
and you want to call that an anal orgasm, great.
great. Okay.
Right? But a lot of that sensation, as you said, is probably happening the internal roots of the clitoris. You're probably touching and moving and sending blood through the whole pelvis. So where does that originate? Who cares? It's an orgasm. It's pleasure.
It doesn't matter.
But when she says she can't have this, if you know for yourself, there are people that love to be like grounded in that anal sensation, then layer everything else on top of it. Right. And
Yeah.
if your partner's not up for fucking you, like you get a plug, you get a toy so you can build. There are people that always want anal in some form, people that would never want anal. Again, it's like being neutral enough to know what your preference is.
Totally.
And it's not a reaction to culture.
Yeah.
So I have one question that we get a lot. Also, we always say butt stuff has been all the rage since like 2015. It just blew up all over the internet. What did they call it? Tossing salad, like just everywhere. Eating ass. How to do it. There's no condom for your tongue. And yeah.
So if you want to stimulate the area but don't want to actually eat ass, you can use a dental dam, which is, or a condom cut up the side and just laid flat, or a glove cut up the side. So you can just like lay something over, even saran wrap and lick the area.
Okay.
Because for a lot of people, the act is like hot because it's also transgressive and you have someone's face up in your ass and it's, you know, very primal.
Yeah.
And taboo. And so if it's just that energetics you like, if you really want a tongue like dipping in and out of your ass, you know, if you have cleaned out, if you have rinsed out, the risk is actually quite minimal. Parasites do happen, and it's actually not that bad of a treatment. I've hung out with a lot of gay men who have eaten a lot of ass, and yeah, parasites happen. It's not a huge deal. You will probably not catch a life-threatening disease this way. But for a lot of people, it's more the psychological thing of like having your ass and your mouth anywhere near
each other.
Yeah.
Or like Ben loves to eat my ass or whatever. I don't know what he's getting out of it. I really don't. But I'll be here when you're ready. I can't see myself. I would like to want it. If he really wanted it, he's not asked for it. But if he really, I'd like to be able to do it. But there's something, like with dudes, there's more hair, and that doesn't seem tempting to me. Is that okay?
Yeah, you can have your preferences.
Okay.
Right? And you can recreate that sensation with like a really lubed up finger swiping away and like your hot breath nearby. Right? Like if again the erotics are about the transgression and the intimacy of it, like having your face nearby might be hot enough, and like blowing on it and spitting on it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Kind of nasty with it that way. You don't have to like fully dip your tongue.
Yeah.
Again, there's a little quick thing about lust and disgust. So the more aroused you are, the more you lose your disgust mechanism.
Cool.
So there are things we do when we're fully aroused and like in the heat of it that thinking about when you're not aroused is disgusting. Right? And then like even thinking about kissing, if you're in a totally neutral place, it's kind of like, ugh. Yeah. But when you want it, you want it.
Thanks,
So there are things we do. All sex is kind of weird. We're mashing up bodies, but there are things we do when we're really in it that you don't have to think too much about when you're not in that moment. Like don't judge yourself about what you want to do when you're really aroused and in it with someone.
Yeah.
Let it be this kind of liminal space where you get a little weird and funky.
Yeah.
And then don't like think about that too much when you're cooking breakfast the next day.
Sure.
You've already come and you're watching porn. You're like, oh, I gotta shut this now. I'm done.
Is anal still safe with a non-symptomatic hemorrhoid?
Yeah. And again, don't push past pain.
Yeah.
Use extra lube if you have hemorrhoids. Some hemorrhoids are very neutral and they're just like a nub of tissue. Some are like active and flaring and owie and don't want attention. Right. Okay. So
and check with your doctor.
Perfect. And then this final person said, please charge your phone, because I guess that my phone was dead. Great.
They want to be able to talk to you.
They want to be able to chat about more butt stuff. We actually asked this to all of our guests. Do you guys remember your first orgasms?
I started having orgasms very young. With the shower head was like really my first tool. So I remember the era, being like 6 or 7 and really discovering this as a place of safety and joy in an otherwise very chaotic world. So I used orgasm as a refuge, and especially with the detachable shower head.
I was also 5 or 6 in the bath with the water coming down from the bath. I don't know that was an orgasm. I definitely feel like later in life, maybe like 8, I had my first feeling of like overwhelming sensation that I was scared by and stopped because I felt like, what was happening? Like, I don't know what this is. And then I returned to it again a little bit later. And then I used to just come home from school and have orgasms and dance every day after I came home from
Orgasms
school.
and dance.
Yes.
I love that. I love that you both had water-based orgasms for their first one. Yeah.
And then there was a hot tub experience for me with the jets a little bit later on while I was also still exploring the cusp of orgasm.
Very nice.
But I also don't want to paint the picture that we're like 2 sex goddesses from being young, for me, it was a lot of abuse and violence that I had to work through and trauma. And then Charlotte actually came from a very like trauma-free, she is kind of this like unfettered pleasure. So we actually can approach sex from both of these perspectives.
Yeah.
Like it's been really hard for me and very easy for her. So we have a lot of compassion for wherever people are on their path.
To have each other as like the yin and the yang, and like helping each other through. Oh, cute! You guys are so cute together.
It's been a life.
You guys, this has been so much fun. Thank you so much for joining us here. If you could please tell our listeners where they can find your podcast, where they can find you online so they can keep in touch.
Our online home is pleasuremechanics.com, and you will find our podcast there, as well as our online courses. We have couples massage. We also have lots of butt sex courses for both boys and girls. And use the code HOWCOME, spelled both ways,
Nice.
for 33% off any course. And just be in touch with us. There's so much anxiety behind these questions, and I get that. And I just want to return you to the place of this is just a part of your sexual
Just
system.
a part of your body.
And if you touch it with like respect and dignity and honor, it can just open up more sensation and more arousal for you. It doesn't have to be something you're scared of, especially if you approach it without an agenda. You don't have to be like plowed.
Yeah,
You can just be touched
totally.
with love. Yes.
Pleasure is the objective always. It is just something new to explore in your body and to discover what you like and to practice asking for what you want and asking for boundaries to be respected and explore what your body is capable of. But know that there's always an infinite amount of pleasure that is possible
Yes.
for all of us. And part of what we can take on in life is pushing those boundaries and exploring and discovering more that we can feel.
Yeah.
And that is an awesome thing that we have the privilege of exploring.
Yeah. We have to ask this at the end of every episode and at the end of every sexual experience. You have to ask it too. Charlotte, did you finish?
I did.
Okay,
I
amazing.
did.
Amazing. Chris, did you finish?
May it go on and on.
Oh, wonderful. Charlotte Casimir, did you finish?
Oh my gosh, yes, I did. Did you?
I did. Everybody,
team.
thank you for coming. And we'll see you next time on How Come. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
How come? How come? How come I can't achieve? How come I can't achieve? I'm rolling up my sleeves. I'm rolling up my sleeves. Oh baby, I believe these guests can help. 'Cause I can't do it by myself. I wanna jizz